Hey everyone from Detroit. As you know, in our city, we're crazy about cars, and I'm no exception. My name is Michael, and my channel is all about that. Subscribe if you're interested in in-depth insights from someone with real hands-on experience. All right, let's get into it.
So let's dive right into the Mercedes B-Class electric drive. First up, the body. This isn't your typical electric car design. While it shares the overall shape of the standard B-Class, there are subtle differences. The electric drive model boasts a slightly more aerodynamic profile, with some tweaks to the front bumper and grille to improve airflow and efficiency. It's not a radical departure, but you can definitely tell it's something a bit special. The overall build quality feels premium, as you'd expect from Mercedes, with tight panel gaps and a solid feel to the doors. The paint finish is excellent, and the car just feels well put together. I particularly like the subtle blue accents that Mercedes uses to highlight the electric nature of the vehicle, little details that add to the overall impression of quality. Now, let's move inside. The interior of the B-Class electric drive is surprisingly spacious. The high roofline and relatively compact exterior dimensions create a surprisingly airy cabin. There's ample headroom and legroom, both in the front and rear. The materials used are high quality with soft-touch plastics and comfortable seating. The dashboard layout is typical Mercedes, clean and uncluttered, with easy-to-use controls. The infotainment system is responsive and intuitive, although it might feel a little dated compared to some of the newer systems on the market. But overall, it's a very comfortable and pleasant place to spend time, even on longer journeys. I especially appreciated the generous storage space throughout the cabin, plenty of cubbies and compartments for all your essentials. Next, let's talk about the engine, battery, and driving experience. Under the hood, you'll find a single electric motor producing 177 horsepower. It's not blisteringly fast, but it's more than adequate for everyday driving. Acceleration is smooth and linear, with plenty of torque available from a standstill. The battery pack is a 24 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion unit, which is relatively small by today's standards. However, it's perfectly sufficient for city driving and shorter commutes. The driving experience itself is remarkably refined. The electric motor is incredibly quiet, making for a peaceful and relaxing drive. The ride is comfortable, absorbing bumps and imperfections in the road with ease. The steering is light and responsive, making it easy to maneuver in tight spaces. Now, the crucial aspect for any electric vehicle, range and charging. Mercedes claimed a range of around 110 miles on a single charge under ideal conditions. In my real-world testing, I managed to achieve around 80 to 90 miles, which is still pretty respectable for a car of this age. Charging times vary depending on the charger used. With a level 2 charger, you can expect a full charge in around 6 to 8 hours. Using a DC fast charger, you can get a significant top-up in around 30 minutes. Of course, these figures are estimates and will vary based on driving style, weather conditions, and other factors. But overall, the charging infrastructure was manageable, and I never felt overly anxious about running out of charge. Finding charging stations wasn't a major issue in my area, but your experience may differ depending on your location. Remember to always plan your journeys accordingly and utilize available charging apps to locate stations along your route. So, let's get behind the wheel of this Mercedes B-Class electric drive. The driving experience is interesting. It's not exactly sporty, but it's surprisingly peppy for an electric car of its era. Acceleration is smooth and linear, not the jerky on-off feeling you sometimes get in older EVs. The electric motor provides instant torque, making city driving a breeze. Overtaking maneuvers are handled with confidence, though you won't be pinning anyone to their seats. The steering is light and responsive, making it easy to maneuver in tight spaces. However, at higher speeds, it feels a little less connected to the road, lacking the feedback you'd expect from a more premium vehicle. The ride itself is comfortable, soaking up bumps and imperfections reasonably well. But the handling isn't particularly sharp. It's more about comfort than outright dynamism. Overall, it's a pleasant driving experience, perfectly suited for everyday commuting and city driving, but not something that will set your pulse racing. Now, let's talk price. When this car was new, it commanded a significant premium over its gasoline-powered counterparts. We're talking a price point well above the average for compact vehicles, even considering its electric drivetrain. Of course, used prices are considerably lower now, making it a potentially more attractive option for budget-conscious buyers looking for an electric vehicle. But you still need to consider the initial investment and compare it to other EVs available on the used market. Remember to factor in the cost of charging versus gasoline, which can significantly impact the overall cost of ownership over time. Researching the total cost of ownership, including potential maintenance and battery replacement costs, is crucial before making a purchase decision. What are the strengths and weaknesses of this Mercedes B-Class electric drive? Let's start with the positives. The quiet operation is a major highlight. The near-silent running of the electric motor makes for a remarkably peaceful driving experience, especially in urban environments. The interior is typically Mercedes, well-built, comfortable, and relatively luxurious for a compact car. The infotainment system, while perhaps dated by today's standards, was quite advanced for its time and remains relatively user-friendly. The range, while not class-leading even back then, is sufficient for most daily commutes. Now, on the downside, the range is indeed a weakness compared to modern EVs. You'll find yourself needing to charge more frequently than with newer models. The charging infrastructure wasn't as developed when this car was released, so finding charging stations could be a challenge depending on your location. And finally, while the interior is nice, some of the materials feel a bit less premium than you might expect from a Mercedes, especially considering the price point. In summary, the Mercedes B-Class electric drive offers a unique blend of luxury and electric driving. It's a comfortable and refined car, perfect for city driving and daily commutes. However, its higher initial price, limited range compared to modern EVs, and less than stellar handling need to be considered. Ultimately, whether it's the right car for you depends on your priorities and budget. If you're looking for a used electric vehicle with a touch of luxury and don't mind its limitations, it could be a worthwhile option. But if range and cutting-edge technology are paramount, you might want to explore newer models on the market.